live.
Awesome.
Live
Awesome.
on Facebook, and let me tag you since I have to do an extra edit with the new ways Facebook does it. Hold on. Is it? Okay, there we go. Tag. Oh, Facebook. Let's try it this way. There we go. Hopefully you can see it on your end as well.
Well, because I'm on my phone, I can only see you, but I say hey to everybody else. And I trust that she knows what she's doing.
And I am trusting that Facebook is going to do what I'm asking it to do. So I have you tagged, and we do have someone watching us. So if you are watching us, just say hi, let us know you can hear us, and we will get started anyway. Today, as usual, Monday, Healers Talk Mondays. And today our topic is how to be with those that complain. My name is Anuschka Alborzian. I am an empowerment health coach and energy healer.
Hello there, and I am Jacob Moya, and I'm also a coach now and a healer and researcher of all things energy.
Awesome, awesome.
Well, interesting topic.
It is.
Let me put it in a different way. So we can start opening up this topic. If I translate, when people ask me what can I do when I am next to people that are complaining, is either how can I control the environment, or how can I avoid being controlled by my environment, right? Because that's basically what they are asking, you know. Mm-hmm. And remember, we talked about this many times here before. We cannot control the people around us. No. What we can control, or the events for that matter, what we can control is how we perceive those events, or what we make out of those situations. Now, we are still humans, right? And as long as we are in a physical body, we're gonna live in a physical reality. And in our physical reality, you utilize our rational brain mostly, you know, to operate, especially here in the West. So what you need to understand is that you naturally gonna be always searching for good and bad. I like it, I don't, it hurt me, satisfies me. You know, it always in striving for balance. You know, it's just natural. That's how we are wired. You know, that's how we get into social groups, and how we create a family and relationships and everything that comes with it. And so when you are in a situation in a social environment, and there's people that are complaining all around you, you can. This is a vibrational thing. You can try to be at a higher vibration, but because there's more people, or you have a special emotional attachment with the people that are having a hard time and that are vibrating lower, they're gonna try to bring you down, and you're gonna try to bring them up to a level where you all can be and coexist together, right? Because if not, you simply got nothing to talk about, right? You are just not part of the party, not part of the environment. It's like you are a stranger there. And so the situation here is like, how can you come down to the level of other people without being fully down energetically? You know, how can you bring yourself down to a level that you can relate socially with every situation, with anybody, you know, with the policeman, with the with the cashier, with the people, the beggars, and all the people that are around you, neighbors and friends and in-laws and relatives, you know. And the reason is just, you don't have, I mean, you need to create the switch inside of you. And I'm going to put examples of this, but you're going to create the switch inside of you that allows you to calm down, although you are not losing yourself, although you are remaining in that other place. Now, there's a recipe for that, you know, because the first thing that you have to do is stop trying to make them wrong and make yourself right. Because believe me, they think that they are right, you know, otherwise they wouldn't be living the way that they are living, right? It's just normal. And we talk about
on the other side of it too, where it's like judging, right? It's like judging those of like, oh my God, this person's always a complainer, or whatever that looks like.
Yeah, and in order for you to judge, you have to make someone wrong, right? And you have to make yourself right. And in order for you to do that, you have to be on your physical side, and you have to drop your vibration, your energy, right? So if you come down willingly, you know, not to try to make them right or wrong, but to understand them, to listen to them, to be with them. And how can you help them? Well, just many times you just have to listen to them, complain. And they just need to take all that energy out of their system. And believe me, when I'll tell you this, I mean, if you are a higher energy person or a higher vibrational energy, people that are having trouble are gonna seek for you to discharge, because energy always is trying to find ways to move to higher levels of vibration, you know.
It's like one thing I definitely notice as well.
Yeah,
like I feel like I become like the person to throw everything out at, right? Like that's just the experience sometimes I have. And then I'll notice like with other people that's not the case, you know, with the same persons, for instance,
right? But let me tell you, this is how it is more obvious, you know. If you go to a church, it's a place where people go with their problems, right? And they go with the problems to deliver the problems to a higher vibration. It can be a praise, it can be their God, it can be whatever, you know. But they go there to release, because that's what we naturally do. You know, in other times, we used to have these full moon ceremonies where people were in the ground and they were dancing in the ground and doing rituals in the ground that allow you to discharge all the excess of energy. But we don't have those luxuries anymore. We don't do these things because it looks weird, you know, and what other people is going to think about it and so on and so forth. I mean, there's a few there out there that still do that kind of rituals, but it's the minimum, right? Is there, we still see them as like strangers, you know. So the thing here is understand that people are coming with their complaints to you is part of the validation of the work that you are doing, right? Is like, oh yeah, you know, they are feeling it because they don't even know why they come to you and they throw all that stuff into you. You know, they don't know, you know, it's just natural. It becomes natural. And that's a beauty, because if it's not rational, it's something that they're feeling. And if it is something they're feeling, then it's a good thing, because it means that all the work that you are doing, it's paying off. You know, it's actually helping you. It's giving you validation on the results that you're achieving by going through the process. You know, and it's I always see that's a good thing. Sometimes it's tiring, and that's okay, you know, and because like I said, we are humans, right? And we sometimes we need a break. We need it, like,
it can be draining. I notice it even with strangers. Sometimes they'll come and share things with like, I don't know why I just shared that with you. Or even clients are like, you're the first person I've ever said this to. And I totally get that, right? And there are times where I'm like, I just want to be off.
Yeah.
And I want to go somewhere and just be off. And there's a difference between complaining and venting, which I'm all about, like vent all the way, right? And then when it's like the same complaints over and over and over again, yeah, I do notice the physical ego side, right? It gets judgmental. I'm like, oh my God, no.
Yeah. Well, when you cannot handle anymore, it's usually because you have an excess of energy inside of you. That's what it is. You know, it's the environment is becoming too overwhelming, and you need a break. So you need to release. Now, the easiest way for you to release is just to go barefoot and just imagine how you are taking all that excess that don't belong to you and bringing it into the ground. Or if there's a tree nearby, just grab it, you know, just touch it. And it's like, thank you for taking all this garbage from me, you know?
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. Now, if none of these situations is available to you, you can always, you know, just experience what they are experiencing. Because remember, nothing happened by chance, right? There's always a good reason for everything. And if that good reason is that you need to also complain and discharge through complaining all that energy that is inside of you, there's a reason for it, and maybe the reason is for you to understand what the other people are feeling, you know, to empathize with them and pretty much kind of like feel the way that they are feeling, right?
Right.
And when you do that, it's gonna give you an opportunity to put yourself into their shoes in order for you to decide what's better for you. You know, what is it that they're going through, and if they really need just to vent, or they really need you know, advice, or so something more serious, right? Because remember, that's also an opportunity for us to plant the seed, you know. So if we tell to someone that is all the time complaining and going through all these emotions, and we tell them, you know what, I kind of like feel you, and I understand where you're coming from, and to a point I can relate to it, because I was going to a similar situation myself in the past, but this is what I did, you know, or what I'm doing right now. And you plant the seed. Mm-hmm. And just leave it there, you know, just leave it there.
And that's typically what I do myself, is that, or like focus on or I focus on the positive aspects of life. I'm like, oh, well, you know, maybe you can focus on this, or make comments. And
one of the things that, like, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I don't want to forget this. It's one of the things that I like about Dispenza is how he explains things, and one of the things that he constantly repeats is where you put your energy, your attention, you put your energy, right? Mm-hmm. or your awareness in this particular situation. So, as an example, you know, it may work, it may not, you know, but if you tell to the people, I understand that you're going through a problem, and I understand that it's overwhelming. And I also understand by listening to you that all your attention is in the problem. Therefore, all your energy, it's in the problem. And the challenge with that is that you are not able to see all the hundreds of solutions and alternatives that can be around you, you know?
Right.
So if you shift,
like
and exactly. And if you shift and start looking for this as an opportunity to change, to transform, to release, to whatever it is that they're going through, you know, it may be helpful because you may find the solution, you know, and you can tell that it worked for me. And I usually use the typical example of putting your sunglasses on top of your head, and where are my sunglasses? Where are my sunglasses? Oh my God, I lost another pair of sunglasses, you know, and you have it on your head. Or where are my keys? And you have it on your hand, right? Because your attention was not on your body, you know, otherwise you will be feeling an strange something inside of you or near you. Right. Your attention was on, I don't find them. I don't know where they are. I lose them, you know? That's where your attention was. So that's where all your energy is. Until someone from the outside comes and tells you, you have it on your hand, or you have it on your hand. It's like, oh, okay. You know, so it can be the same. But like I said, it really requires you to be either a step ahead or a step back, you know. And I'm not saying back, but it's more like a bar, you know, to raise and see the situation that you are experiencing and living also as an opportunity, right? Because at the end, that's what it is. You know, what are the chances that you two are commingling at the same time and space, and that person just went through something that is carrying all that emotional baggage, and that you are the first person with a high vibration that they find to release. You know, so that's how it is. It's there's a reason why you are there. Go ahead.
So Restorative Rituals, hi. Thank you for sharing on Instagram. Yeah, I love what she said, and it's exactly what I was saying earlier, right? There's a difference between venting and complaining. And she said, I would like to ask that we also remember to ask if our friends or whoever has vented, if they would even like me to comment or offer a possible solution. Sometimes people really just needed just one person to hold space for them for their healing to begin. Absolutely. And that to me is everything, is really noticing, like, is this venting? Because sometimes people do need to do that. They need to really
but the thing
that, right? So that's,
well, the only challenge with categorizing venting and complaining is that you have to use your rational mind, you know, and in order for you to use your rational mind, you have to drop your energy down. You know, if you understand that this event that you are living and experience just is, and that you are there for a reason, and it's a good reason. It's a good reason for you, or it's a good reason for them. You know, you don't know. But if there's a good reason why you got together at that point in time.
Right.
You know, and they are experiencing right now a lower vibration thing. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe you start giving them solutions and they're gonna cut you off and they're gonna blow you off. You know, like, no, I don't need to hear for this, or so on and so forth. That's why instead of telling them how they should live their life, my approach, like a similar situation, this is what I did, and this is what worked for me. You know, it's you going to that past and show them and tell them what is it that you did, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And because many times I tell them, you know, I solve a lot of stuff in meditation, and they all the typical response from people that are complainers is like, oh, that doesn't work for me. I cannot shut my mind. Right. And I tell them, I usually tell them, like everything else, meditation is like going to the gym. You know, if I haven't hit the gym in a year, my situation, you know, and now I don't want to go back because I know all the pain that is coming afterwards, right? but you know, I don't gonna be able to last an hour doing exercise. I mean, there's no chance, right? I need to start building up again and waking up my muscle memories and start all over again, right? So it's the same. It's the same.
It's painful, you know? At the beginning, as it is with meditation. Yeah. It's just a different.
Yeah. But you keep going. You force yourself. You find a special meaning into the practice, and then you make it happen. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's how I share it with them. You know, it's just having the intentions is gonna start creating a shift inside of you. You know, but anyway, that's what I think that will work. You know, believe me, I sometimes I go to visit my family. We get together very often. I mean, lately it's been like too often, right? It's just like every other weekend or something like that, for whatever reason, you know. and many times it's there's a lot of complaining going on, and I'm usually just quiet, just witnessing everything, just observing. If someone brings me to the conversation or invite me to the conversation and share things, well, I tell them what I'm experiencing, and sometimes that's more than enough. But I understand that, like they say here, I feel you, I understand what you're going through, and I understand that sometimes it's difficult, but it's not impossible. And take it as a test, like a midterm test, right? You are going through the process to see how good are you really doing for yourself, on your own, for your own energy, and seek it. Then the next thing that is very important is to release all that energy afterwards, because if not, it's gonna stay with you, Absolutely. And if you keep having that memory stuck in your brain, or that interaction stuck in your brain in a loop, it's because your brain disconnected. So you have to reconnect your brain. We share practices of that in our meditation. We actually been practicing now in meditation, not with physical exercises, but with mental exercises. And it's all about that. It's all about reconnecting our brain and releasing all the excess that don't belong to you, so you can go back to center. Because that's the beauty, it's we are doing all this work in order for us to perform where we are. I mean, we're not going to a monastery. We are not checking out of our social life and engagements and stuff, and checking in a monastery where we only gonna pray and sing. Live in a more balanced way our life. We are choosing to live manifesting things. But we're still operating in a very rational environment, in a very physical environment.
Yep, absolutely. So, and yeah, one thing I noticed with myself in particular, I do notice that there are times where there are certain events, right, where it's like, oh yeah, depending on the crowd, it's like almost like an already knowing, right? Already you like know from past experience how it's gonna go. So that's for me to check myself and just to say, okay, let's just go to this newly, because people are always shifting. People are always making changes in their life.
Changes and transformation, right?
Exactly, growing, right? And sometimes I notice I don't connect to that consciously, and then I'll go and have like a certain experience, and I'm like, for instance, I knew I shouldn't have come, or whatever it may be, right? Where I like look at someone and I'm like, oh my gosh, this person just, and some people really get a lot from complaining. They do. They just like to live in that, whatever they get out of it, right? Some people like to live in a victim way, and they get something out of it. And that's not my place to say, I'm going to judge you on that. Like, if this is how I live my life, and these are, like you said, these are the experience I have in these certain situations, right? And they may just go through one ear, out the other, until they're ready to make that shift within their own life. And being okay with it, not making them wrong, I think, is the biggest thing. Not making anyone wrong.
That's the biggest thing. And one of the things that I notice is that most people that constantly complains is you're probably gonna see that because it's funny. I mean, when you start seeing energies, and the brain is disconnected, their energy is also out of balance. They have more light in one side and less light in the other. It's kind of like very obvious, regardless of the colors, because the colors got to be more with the emotion of the person. But I'm talking about the how can I say, amplitude, about the extension of the energy around them, and most people that come.
Or is it more like you're talking about the aura and how, or is it something?
It's part of the aura, but like I said, it's kind of like the energy itself is misaligned. You know, you see more energy on one side than the other.
I see.
And but instead of telling them that, or telling them that they're screwed up, you can understand that they're disconnected. So they're thinking just very, very, most of the time, very physical. You know, so obviously you're gonna find, because remember that as human beings we are designed to survive, right? Everything that is natural is designed to survive. Is designed to fight. Is designed to exist and recreate, you know, and or procreate, you know, to become more.
Right.
That's everything that is natural. So if you are on that side of the brain, you are in your survival state. You know, that's what the medics call the sympathetic mode. You know, you're stuck. You can actually see that physically. The shoulders are going to be misaligned. The ears are going to be misaligned. One's going to be higher than the other. You can see that very, very clearly. And one of the reasons that they are like that is because the brain is disconnected. That it's out of balance. So if you see that, you can understand that they are seeing things. I mean, all the bad things, that's the only thing that they are able to see. And the reason why they only see those things is because they are on survivors. You know, so they need to be aware of everything, because everything around them feels like a possibility of attack, or of a possibility or a threatening event, you know, when to happen. So for them, they need to avoid that, and that's why they need naturally. This is biological stuff, right? To focus on the stuff so they can avoid it. You know, so they can protect these people when you talk to them. And I'm just giving you these hints so you can put it in practice the next time that you are going through a situation like this. So you can learn and understand more about the biology and how everything affects everything else. You know, and so you can ask them about how's your digestion, and you gotta. I mean, 9.8% out of 10, 9.9 out of 10, they're gonna tell you that they have issues. You know, that the stomach is blowing. You can ask them how they are sleeping, and they're gonna tell you that they have insomnia, or they have a hard time sleeping, or they are taking pills, or they're taking supplements to sleep. You know, this is just to give you information to learn, not to tell them, not to volunteer solutions, because at that state, everything feels like an attack. So if you volunteer some information, they're gonna feel that you as a threat, you know, and so they're gonna respond. But it's for you to understand. It's like, oh, by the way, how's your digestion? How's your stomach doing? You know, are you going well to the restroom? If it comes in the conversation, or if not, at least are you sleeping well at night? And you're gonna and they're gonna nah, forget it. I'm waking up every other hour, and I wake up and I'm arrested, and so on and so forth. That can tell you that the problem is biological, right? And it's a combination. It's the chicken of the egg thing. What was first? Who knows? You know, what was first? But this is how they are living. You know, so at that particular point and situation, is gonna be challenging, you know, if they don't ask for help for them to find something other than that, you know, and but it's a beautiful exercise. I do that quite a lot, actually, when I find situations that are kind of like obvious to me, but they're not that obvious to them. I start sharing with them or ask them about questions, you know, how's this, how's that? And if they ask me, why are you asking that? Or how do you know? It's like, well, first of all, this is what I do, what I do for a living, right? But second, those those same situations in my life.
Oh, I lost you.
And that opened up the door for the next question, which is usually, what do you think? It opens the door
Jacob,
to ask for them to ask for something else. Yeah,
oh, I think I'm losing you.
See.
Oh, yeah, we lost you. Oh, okay. So restorative ritual as a survivor of childhood trauma, I can relate to words as I have been on that side
Gosh,
where I was
I
navigating.
have issues with my internet. I lost you. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. I was just reading one of the, I lost some of the things you were saying over there. It started to get mumbled. But restorative rituals actually commented on Instagram saying, as a survivor of childhood trauma, I can relate to your words, as I have been on that side of the coin where I was navigating a constant fight or flight mode, and it greatly affects your ANS and pituitary. Totally. Yeah, absolutely. And then that's the thing, is when we become physical, I feel like when the body's in constant fight or flight, it's like so much stress mode and even fear, right? Where there's a disconnection to your energetic body.
And everything else, because also your own magnetic field, it's too dense, right? So you're only gonna relate and attract and feel safe, and you're gonna feel safe to others that are in that particular magnetic field, and instead of having a compatibility with people that are like this person that just shared with us. He or she is probably on another level right now, and she's attracting different type of experiences to their life, right? And it was just a matter of changing, shifting, transforming herself so she can naturally raise her vibration. He can relate to a different experience.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, it definitely sounds restorative rituals. I don't know your name. Looks like it is a she from with the image. Yes. Okay. She's loving. She's doing all kinds of hearts. I'm pretty sure that's you. Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. It's yeah, I feel like I noticed even in my own self just who I am today compared to, because I was one of those. I was one of those very negative people, very much complained about everything you can imagine in my 20s. I'm very clear. I didn't even know what it meant. Aiden. Okay, nice meeting you, Aiden. Thanks for being here. But yeah, I didn't even have awareness around it. And I would victimize myself, and I would always be focusing on the negative and negative people. And of course, that was my life, like all the negative things and all the negative people and all the toxicity was surrounding me. And then I started to have awareness around my words and law of attraction. I got introduced to The Secret. And so that made a huge difference in my life. And then, shifting and transforming from that on. Oh, she says, grateful for both of you. Thanks for being here with us, Aiden. We appreciate you being here with us and engaging. It's always fun to have someone engaging with us.
Totally. Definitely. So that's pretty much it. And that's where this practice that we have every single Monday comes into play, the meditations.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that for us and for others, and the reason why is exactly this, is to be able to come up with a place where you can hang out with people that are either working on.
Oh, we lost you again. I'll just say, to be with like-minded people I think that's what what he's
there, you know, in the place where you want to be at. And
Jacob,
feed
you're cutting
out
out.
of that energy and have a tool.
There we go.
Oh, damn it. Well,
yeah,
hopefully you're gonna get me back.
Yeah, I hear you now.
Because
Your screen is frozen. Just to sum it up from what I'm getting, you were expressing is to join us Monday evenings, because that's where we work on some of the
yes,
practices and exercises to release the negative
yes,
energies, balance our chakras, clear our auras, and meditate, and to be with the like-minded people. Right?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you. Yeah, I apologize, guys, for my internet. I have a very bad connection.
All good. Did you hear what I was saying, though? Hopefully. Maybe. Anyhow, yes, join us. Join us this evening at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think we're losing Jacob now, but thank you all for joining us. It's like you're a robot.
Goes on and off.
It really sounds like you're being like a robot. You're very robotic right now. Okay, I think we're losing Jacob, and it's okay. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Jacob, for your wisdom as always. I appreciate you.
Exactly. And play along with us, and it's gonna.
Yes. Come play with us. That's what I heard. It is all on Zoom, by the way. Yeah, we definitely very, very choppy. But yeah, it's on Zoom. I'm going to share information on how to join us.
About a practice. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, okay. I think there's a delay. That's totally fine. This is what happens with, yes, there is not a link in the bio. Aiden, I will post how to make the payment through Venmo to Jacob. It's only $20. And then with that, once you give me the screenshot, you just can message it to me. Then I'll send you the link directly to you. Oh, and yeah, we lost Jacob. So hopefully you heard that, but you know, yeah, I will share the information. Actually, you know what? Let me just share it right here. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can. I might not be able to. Yeah, I will share that at some point when I post. I'm going to post this video to IGTV. So I believe you follow me. So once I do that, then you can definitely check it out over there. And then let me know if you have any questions. You can message me separately or comment on this once it's on IGTV. Thanks everyone else also for joining, and more information on that to come for this evening. If you do want to join us, definitely reach out. It's very powerful stuff. All right. Thanks, everyone. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday. Have a high vibing Monday. Till next time. Bye.